Hello, everybody. Welcome to my channel. What did Kathy watch? For the people who have been following me since the birth of this channel back in February 2025, thank you. For my new subscribers, a special thank you because I awakened this morning to discover that I am at triple digits, 111 subscribers. And that just blows me away. So thank you and welcome. In my part of the world, it's 4 something. And the weather is not that bad. It's cold. It's 55 Fahrenheit, which to your girl is cold. Anything that goes below 65 Fahrenheit, to me, that's cold. But as long as it's sunny, which it has been today, and dry, which it has been today, that makes me happy. I can live with that because beyond a certain temperature, depending on how low the temperature gets, I hate to moan and whinge and stuff, but I am a woman of a certain age. So when the temperature really drops, my arthritis kicks in and all kinds of stuff kicks in. So I didn't do a lot today. I slept until 9:45 because I woke up at 3 a.m. this morning. I had a nightmare. Do you have nightmares? And do you remember them? And if you dream, I've always had very vivid dreams that stay with me for hours. And I have recurring dreams. So, do you dream? And if so, do you remember them? Anyway, I woke up at 3 a.m. with this nightmare. And the nightmare was up until 14 months ago, to put it in context for you, I had a fish tank in my house. And I've lived in my flat for 15 years. So when I retired 14 months ago, I decided I was going to get rid of the fish tank. Even though I loved it and I loved my fish, I just wanted to simplify my life. I've been on a major let's downsize and simplify my life project since maybe 2023. Anyway, I got rid of the fish tank. In my dream last night, I dreamt that I was here sitting. This is my favorite spot. And if you watch this channel, you'll know this is where I record most of my videos. In the dream, I was sitting here watching TV, and the fish tank was off to my left. Can I do that? Yeah, where it normally is. So I'm sitting here, and the fish are leaping out of the tank, and they're falling onto the floor. So I get up, and I'm scooping them up and dumping them back into the tank. And as I'm doing so, my favorite fish, which back then was a large yellow cichlid that I had named Nova. I scoop Nova up off the floor and I dump her into the tank because I don't want her to die. And as I dump her back into the tank, she turns into this massive spider. And anybody who knows me, that they'll know spiders. I can't cope. In the dream, she turns into this massive spider, and she crawls over the side of the tank, and she's coming at me. And I'm screaming and running. And as I'm screaming and running away, she's getting bigger and bigger. And that's what woke me up. I wonder if it's because, this is October, and I tend to watch a lot of horror movies in October because October is Halloween month. Anyway, it woke me up, and at that point, I got up and I came in the living room, and then I thought, well, I may as well do my grocery shopping. So I went online and I did my grocery shopping and got that out the way. And the stuff will be delivered tomorrow. And then I went back to bed. And I had a long lie-in. And what woke me up was my mobile going ding, ding, ding. And that was my pharmacy telling me, your prescriptions have been refilled. Come collect them. So I got up, had breakfast, took my meds, got dressed, and went to go pick up my prescriptions. And then I came back home where I have been, pretty much perched on the couch, just chilling all day, watching documentaries and home decor shows and Al Jazeera News. And horror movies. And one of the horror movies that I watched today, and I have to watch this in the daylight now, is the 80s film Hellraiser, based on the Clive Barker short story. I have all of Clive Barker's books. I freaking adore this guy. And Hellraiser, while it may not terrify a lot of you, I have a backstory to Hellraiser the first time I saw it. My second husband and I had just split up, and it's the early 80s. I think Hellraiser came out in, I don't know, between 82 and 84. But we had just split up, and I'm sitting at home on a Friday night, and I had been invited out, but I didn't want to go out, I just wanted to sit at home and watch a movie. So I'm like, right, okay. And it was at the beginning of pay-per-view, too, which, if you're an American, you will remember pay-per-view. So I spent my $5 American USD, and I ordered it. And back in the 80s, I ain't gonna lie, I'm not gonna do like Bill Clinton and say I didn't inhale. Back, in the 80s, I did. Every now and then I like to. So, I had my wine, and I had gone out and got some crisps, or potato chips as they're called in America, and dip, and just all kinds of movie munchies. And I'm in my pajamas and I'm curled up on the sofa and I'm watching this movie. But I'm also stoned as I'm watching this movie, which was a very bad mistake because I was alone and it scarred me. I watched it today, decades later. Broad daylight, stone cold sober. And I don't know if this is a flashback from, when I first saw it, given, the state I was in. But every time I watch this movie, it terrifies me. So I watched it and it remains terrifying and it remains good, you know. There were a lot of sequels to Hellraiser. There's Hellraiser 2, Time to Play, Hellraiser 3, Hell on Earth. I think they got up to Hellraiser 6 actually, and they got successively worse. But Hellraiser 1 and 2, I don't know why I even bother to watch them because they seriously continue to scare me. And that's how your girl has spent her day. I had something weird happen to me yesterday. I decided yesterday the weather was not as good yesterday as it was today. So I decided I was going to have a PJ day. I love my PJ days. So I'm having it, and around 10:15 my door buzzer goes off and I'm like, who the hell is that? Everybody knows I'm retired and everybody knows as much as I love them, do not just show up on my doorstep. You need to let me know, the shit needs to be planned. You can't just show up because I won't answer the door. Whoever this was, they kept ringing it. So I got up, went to the window, and looked out, and it was the police. Years of conditioning prompted me to let them in. And you know what's weird? Police all over. They got that same knock. I rang the buzzer, let them in. They came to my door and went, oops, sorry. I did that so hard my phone fell. So they did that. And I opened the door and I'm in my pajamas and I'm like, can I help you? And they explained to me that they were looking for the woman who used to live directly above me. Now, I've been in Scotland for 25 years. And I can honestly say, at least in my case, Scottish police aren't like American police. So, they were nice, they were kind. At no time did I feel threatened. But I did feel anxious because I grew up as a black person in America. And until I moved here, I had several unpleasant interactions with police. I have no police record. I've never committed any crimes other than, speeding when I first started driving, but you don't get over that, and when I first moved here, my friends were like, Kathy, it's not like that over here. Chill. So, they explained what they wanted, and I told them what I knew. And they went upstairs to talk to the current tenants, and I thought that would be the end of it. But then they came back, which just heightened my anxiety. And it was a male-female couple. And the woman sensed my anxiety, and she was like, are you okay? And I'm like, no, I'm a black American, and, I moved here late in life, so any interactions with Popo makes me nervous. And she said, that is so sad, but we assure you, you're not in trouble. and you're not in any danger. And actually, I knew I wasn't in trouble. I knew I hadn't done anything. But just the idea that somebody who used to live above me in such close proximity was now being sought by the police, that did. It made me kind of anxious. So I was like, y'all sure I'm not in any danger? This person not gonna come back? And they were like, no, this is just, this is the last address we have for them. And we are looking for them. And I'm like, okay, well, even though police make me nervous, and they would probably make me nervous no matter where I was living, um, my parents raised me to respect authority. So I was respectful and, I helped them as much as I could. And then they complimented me like most people do on the way, my house looks and my plants, and then they left. And God, was I relieved when they left. So, other than that, I've not been up to anything. Rachel, if you're watching this, I am going to come over. Seriously. It will probably be next week now. I just, I'm in that mode which a lot of my friends get. And I love that about my friends over here. They get it. It's not that I don't love them. It's not that I'm a misanthrope or anything. It's just I've gotten older, and there are days upon days upon days, where all I want to do is be by myself. So, having said that, I'm going to go back to enjoying being by myself, because that's what I like to do. To my 111 subscribers, thank you. I do love y'all, even though I don't know you personally. I love that you keep coming back. That makes me really happy. If it's your birthday today, happy birthday. If it's an anniversary or something like that, kudos, congrats. If you are grieving the loss of a pet or someone you love, my prayers are with you. Grief is hard, so don't push yourself. Everybody grieves differently, and, it takes as long as it takes. And if you feel like your life is shit right now, don't worry about that either, because sometimes you're down and sometimes you're up. And you will always, once you're at the bottom, rise back up. So until I drop my next video, thank you as always for tuning in to What Did Kathy Watch? Thank you for sharing this link, my channel, with your friends and whatnot. Somebody is sharing something, because I can't believe I've hit 111 subscribers. And until I drop my next video, remember, stay safe, because the world is in a chaotic state. Stay safe and live well. Kathy out.